cities from across Kenya. 12 contestants. Many have fallen from the chopping board and we are down to 4. Only one of them will win 1 million Kenya shillings. This week, Chef Ben has a special challenge as he steps into the kitchen to show how it's done. Which 2 contestants will head on to the final?
Secrets, surprises, and curveballs. The contestants are just a step closer to bagging a million and realizing their dreams.
This is the penultimate round. Who is going to book themselves a place in the final?
Angie, step into the Fuata Flava kitchen.
Next, we have Jean.
Amina, karibu jikoni.
Finally, we have Gervais.
Contestants, as you know, the rules are the same. Look around you. The Fuata Flava kitchen is a food lover's heaven. Fully stocked for you, from the vegetables to the fresh produce in the fridge and also the ingredients on the shelf. You can use any of those to enhance your meal and to wow us with your signature dish. Open your baskets now.
Please take out your dish. This challenge is to show you what I have been looking for throughout the show. You will each be required to replicate this dish.
Ametupata 10-0. Sasa I don't know that.
Oh, that's something. What a way to start the semis. That's the way to start it. I wouldn't think of any other better way. Whoa.
Taste it. Examine it. Make sure you can feel everything in it. And make an identical dish to the best way you can. Contestants, you will always have this plate with you, so you can taste it as you proceed and continue. If you're not sure of an ingredient, go back to it.
Hii sasa tumepewa iko pale. Hii tunaenda tunafanya vile ilikuwa pale. Na haina shida yote ya kutafuta akili ya kufungua kitu. Hii ni ile vile umepika, yule mtu amepika vipi, umeenda unapika kama yule.
I think it's mostly linked with are you able to recognize spices and different flavors?
The unique ingredients, that's the most important. And then the common things you're supposed to do.
We may miss a few things, but basically, I should say 80% of the ingredients you should be able to detect.
Not necessarily exactly, because hatuwezi kutengeleza kama yeye. 2-3 labda nitapata, 1 nitakosa, lakini safari ianze.
Contestants, congratulations on making it this far. You're at the very edge of proving to be Kenya's culinary champion.
During elimination, we will be eliminating 2. Think about that. And this is where it counts. You will each be given 45 minutes to complete this challenge. And when the time stops, the cooking stops.
Your time starts now.
The contestants have just begun the challenge of their lives. Will they pull it off? The big question is, how did Chef Ben create his dish? This is how Chef Ben created his spinach, ricotta stuffed chicken breast with mushroom sauce and a creamy ugali base.
So now I'm going to make a stuffed chicken breast. I have a nice large breast here. I've taken out the chicken tender. So just get the knife pretty much in the center of the breast. Take it right through, feel it with your fingers. It shouldn't come out on either side because your filling is going to spill out. And you can see the space in there. And on that side, I've not punctured it. So now I'm going to make a rather simple filling for my chicken, which is going to have some spinach, it's going to have some ricotta cheese, some crushed roasted groundnuts, and a little bit of cream. I have some water boiling here, and I'm just going to add a little salt, and I'm going to blanch my spinach. This is probably going to take about 2 minutes tops, maybe less. Crush my nuts lightly. Add a little cream. I'm going to strain my spinach in running water. Chop it up. Some butter into a medium hot pan. Melt it out. Next up, I'll put in my onion. Half an onion. Put in my spinach. Chicken in choosy bits. Straight into my cavity, right there. And what you'll notice is the chicken will begin to swell as the stuffing goes in. So there you have it. Nice stuffed spinach and ricotta chicken breast. I'm going to brown my chicken on my pan, a little oil and some butter, a good amount of salt, and some pepper. One minute on the skin side, flipped it over for a minute, then flipped it over again for a minute. And now it's on skin side up. So 4 minutes altogether, flipping at intervals of 1 minute into my baking tray. Putting that nice butter on top of it. And this goes straight into the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to bring some milk and coconut milk to a boil. Add my rosemary into the mixture. Add a little salt, pepper, maize meal, meanwhile, I think we can take out that chicken. And those juices are nice and clear. That's definitely cooked. To finish off this ugali, a little blue band, just to give it some softening and some flavor. So now I'm going to be making a chicken stock, and all I need is some chicken bones, water, onion, piece of bay leaf, cloves, carrot, leek, some celery, and an onion. Ideally, what I want is to just get the flavors out of it once I'm done. So I'll bring it to a boil, then simmer it for 30 minutes. So now we're going to strain it. Blue band into the pan. Half an onion. Garlic clove. The mushrooms. And the thyme. So we're going to use some of that chicken stock that we made. Now I'm going to taste my sauce. Feels like it needs a little more salt, just a touch. And for good presentation, I want to cut this chicken so you can see the inside. Look at that. Nice and beautiful, moist. Right in the center. I want to put some mushrooms around. And finally, is to just get that sauce all around. So there you have it.
And that's how this week's challenge was created. Now it's up to the contestants. We have seen the contestants face a new twist this week. They have to recreate a dish from Chef Ben.
Hii sasa tumepewa iko pale. Hii tunaenda tunafanya vile ilikuwa pale. Na haina shida yote ya kutafuta akili ya kufungua kitu.
I think it's mostly linked with Are you able to recognize spices and different flavors?
The unique ingredients, that's the most important. And then the common things you're supposed to do.
We may miss a few things, but basically, I should say 80% of the ingredients you should be able to detect.
But that's not all.
During elimination, we will be eliminating 2. Think about that. And this is where it counts.
Your time starts now.
I've figured out a lot of things. We have the chicken breast stuffed with kale and cashew nut, salt, pepper, and Royco.
Why don't you like using your boards? You're always cutting things on plates and baking trays. That's probably why you're cutting yourself. There you go. It's much safer.
The crust, the skin is very important. I don't know what was rubbed on it. I was trying to taste one, but it was quite...
All the ingredients that you need for this particular challenge are somewhere in this kitchen.
As soon as the chef says start, I just went and picked a piece of chicken and I came.
Keep tasting your dish. Make sure you make it as identical.
I saw the other contestants too used thighs, and obviously it was the breast.
I am 90% sure, 95 or 99% sure that all the chef included into the stuff. This is what I used.
First, when I saw the presentation, niliona ni kuku. Kuku yule nilimtafuta kwa friji nikampata. Na kulikuwa kuna stock ya supu yake ya kumchemsha naye na nikaipata.
Consider this a treasure hunt. Everything you need is in this kitchen.
Nikapata coconut, nikatengeleza mash, ni spinach.
I did the stuffing first, the spinach with the nuts and cheese. First of all, I seasoned with salt and pepper. Then I pan-fried it. Then I had to stuff it in the chicken. Then I finished it off in the oven.
The calm and silence is almost deafening in here.
It's the concentration that they're going through.
And that's what it's about, thinking. Yeah, I like this actually. They seem more organized. And I like that you threw this curveball.
Well, they almost seem like they know what they're doing and they wouldn't be here if they didn't, so.
And you say that this meal describes you, right? What about cooking and being a chef do you love?
Well, pretty much anything to do with things that make you happy.
Yeah, that's what food is about, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right, so this one is going to be a tough one for them, I think, because it's a challenge of the taste buds, actually, isn't it?
I actually call this a taste test.
Taste test, I like it.
Exactly.
Nimesikia spinach, kuna njugu ndani na kuna coconut milk.
The spinach, peanut, a little bit of egg, a little bit of milk. Yeah.
So we now have 25 minutes to go. Contestants, we now have 25 minutes to go. I like how calm everything is. But remember to make sure you finish and make sure your food is cooked. 25 more minutes to go.
For the base, I smelled like cinnamon, like coconut, ugali. So that's what I think.
For the base, I did corn flour with some herbs and salt and cheese, Parmesan cheese.
I don't need to rush you, but you really need to start thinking about finishing. You don't have much time. So pick up, do what you have to do.
Whatever the stuff, that stuff, white stuff, it was just made unga ya ugali out of something. Ni uji inapikwa, inawekwa maziwa na sukari kidogo na butter. That's finished. Yes.
Are you okay?
I am fine.
We're going to finish?
Yeah.
You managed to finish?
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's go, people. This is it. There's not much time left. Just pace yourselves. This is it. This is it, people. Let's be quick about it. We've made some very good dishes. Let's make sure that everything lands on the plate. Make sure the plates are clean. Make sure you've tasted everything. Is that okay, Angie? Is that okay? Are you comfortable with that? Are you happy with that? Okay, let's go, let's go. Should we make sure there's no string on that, yeah?
Yeah.
You sure you finish? Just try and make sure you finish, yeah?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop.
Contestants, congratulations. You have surely done a good job. Remember that we're all trying to fight for 1 million shillings. Because of that, you're not yet done.
The contestants seemed confident and amazingly are done before time. Is it as easy as it seems?
Now, whatever comes. You know, in every competition, there are some little things that come up, and I'm used to that kind of thing.
You now have 15 minutes to go around the kitchen, pick out some ingredients to make a starter to complement the dish that you have just finished creating. The only catch is make sure you use Royco.
Your time starts now.
You have to prepare an appetizer off the top of your head in 15 minutes. There I am, tired, in pain. My little boo-boo.
Nakwambia we were yo-yos. Kama unajua ile yo-yo ya kucheza hivi ndio tulifanywa hivyo. Up and down like yo-yos. This time you caught us also now.
I had like 15 minutes to make a starter. I just thought this is another chance. Let me just take it. So that's when I did the bruschetta. So I did toasted bread with basil, tomatoes, oregano, olive oil, and salt.
I was like, oh, bread bruschetta, that is easy. Preparing my bread, put it in the grill. For it to form a very hard crust, it burns. I have to rethink my plan again.
This starter is going to be judged as well. And remember, only 2 are going to move on to the next level. So this is not going to be easy. Not for you and not for me. It will be easy if you don't finish this challenge.
I said, okay, I'll make a pancake. A pancake I made out of Royco with a little bit with sugar kidogo, with cardamom, and with cashew nut. That is, if you take that pancake, it's salty and you can taste with this salts like that.
I make a grilled sandwich. Yes. With some butter, some ginger powder, some ricotta cheese, grilled mushroom, and a cucumber.
And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, contestants.
I'm happy with what I did today. It was out of my bound, but I took I took the challenge well.
I presented something which is something similar. They didn't say put exactly, they said something similar. And from what I've done, Chief Ben will judge. But I'm proud I've become the last 4.
Today's Royco natural ingredient quick cooking tip.
Methi seeds with their bittersweet taste are often used in curries. They are rich in vitamins and minerals, a good reason why they are one of the 16 specially selected ingredients in Royco Mchuzi Mix. One way I like to use Royco is in flavoring my rice. Bring some water to a boil in a pot. Add 1 cube of Royco beef, stir. Put in your rice, give it a stir, and cook as normal. When your rice is done, give it a good stir with a fork and serve. So there you have it. This will definitely have the family home early for dinner. Joe, how are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Let's see what you have.
Okay. Try to recreate your dish. And that's my appetizer.
What are we looking at? Is that tomatoes?
Yes, and apples.
Okay.
My version of bread bruschetta.
Okay.
Yes.
And how about this?
I did my best to try and recreate your dish. I used the breast, the chicken breast. The filling, I used kale and spinach with ground nuts, butter, salt, pepper, mushroom, a little bit of soy sauce, pepper, salt and pepper, Royco.
What did you go through when you were tasting Chef Ben's meal?
Oh, his meat would have needed a little bit less cooking. I think his presentation, well, good effort.
Well, it was a good attempt, and this has come quite close.
Yes.
I almost feel like you were in the kitchen with me when I was creating it. There are a few things that you missed out, but you came quite close.
I'm not sure about your bruschetta because I like the apple and the tomato, but I feel like your bread is just a little bit too soft. Maybe if it was just a bit toasted, it would have had that nice crunch. Get your appetite ready for this.
Yes. Okay. Did that have anything to do with the fact that you burnt the first one?
Yes.
Okay, so the time wasn't enough.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Gervais.
Hey.
Hi, how are you? Let's see what you recreated.
Okay, for the starter, I've made some grilled sandwich with butter and ginger powder. I also put some eggs and grilled some cucumber and mushroom, chicken leg, chicken thigh, spinach.
Okay.
So some yes, and then peanuts, a little bit of milk.
I like the fact that you used the thigh, and the thigh actually is the one that has the most flavor, because it's what is considered to be the dark meat of a chicken or poultry in general. I'm not quite sure about your starter. It almost feels like a sandwich to me, not really a starter. And maybe you could have tasted your ugali a little more, because it's quite grainy, which leads me to believe that it's not completely cooked.
For me, I really wish there was just a bit of a kick in there, a bit of spice. But all in all, it's close.
Well, thank you, Gervais. I hope it's enough to take you through.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gervais. Fazili, uliona hichi chakula kwa kikapu lile?
Nilishangaa sana, sikutarajia kupata chakula imeiva. Yes.
Okay. Na kukionja?
Nilipoonja, imepikwa vizuri sana. It was well done. Now to find a cook food in the kitchen while we were supposed to make food, it was surprising. Now 15 minutes to make a starter, it was a problem. Now I had to make a pancake mix with kitunguu ndani na dania, na hii sauce yake nimeweka sukari na cardamom. Main course hii ni unga ugali, nimekoroga nikaivisha vizuri. Hii ni mguu ya kuku, imewekwa na spinach, nikaweka coconut, nikaweka black pepper, nimeweka Royco, kuna mushroom hapo. Unaweza kuonja tu sasa.
Ni spinach uliweka Royco na
njugu karanga. Naweka njugu karanga na coconut milk.
it's a good effort. This the onion and the sweetness in the pancake. It's a bit.
If it had, I think, gotten right into the sauce, ingekuwa poa sana.
Because for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
you make a pancake, you make the sauce, you make what? So it's like, where am I? Like a yo-yo in the kitchen.
It's yeah.
Ole.
It was. That's the whole point. At
Yeah.
this stage, you can understand.
Thank you. Sawa, sawa.
Maybe for me, you could have just left the onion out of it.
Sawa, sawa.
But you know, it's really a good attempt.
Thank you.
Angie,
Yes, chef.
how did you feel about the challenge?
It was very technical when it comes to the chicken. Yeah, so I just thought maybe let me just try it out. And then let's see what comes out.
Okay, let's see what came out.
Yeah. To go with the meal, I decided to do a bruschetta because the base is like creamy. So I decided to do something with the crunch and a texture. The main course for the stuffing, I did spinach with nuts. And I decided to do the pepper and salt,
What nuts did you use?
cashew nuts.
Okay. And what's the white stuff with the filling?
Oh, I did ricotta cheese and herbs,
What herbs?
rosemary.
Okay.
Seasoning is just perfect, and it's toasted where it's not too hard and it's not too soft. So I like that. I like the coolness of it.
3 out of the 4 of you made a starter that was based on bread. So I'm really starting to wonder whether it was a case of, you know, copying. But besides that, your main course, I saw your technique, which was quite impressive. Well, I hope it's enough to take it to the next level. Surely it's a good attempt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Angie.
Thank you.
Contestants, again, congratulations. Thank you. You have definitely stood the test of time on this show. But as you were told earlier, 2 people will go home. But that doesn't say that you did not do a great job. You guys were great. So if you can just exit the kitchen so Chef Ben and I can deliberate. Thank you. I was surprised at the secret inside the kikapu. What was going through your mind when you came up with this?
Well, here's the thing. We have a lot of authentically local ingredient in Kenya. And that's what I'm trying to bring out in this show. So what I wanted to do was to show not just the contestants, but Kenyans as a whole, what you can actually do that is out of the normal, but is something so simple that you can actually make with ingredients that you can find in your own country.
Absolutely. We need to embrace and actually step out and start to cook. I love it. Jean, first one up.
Jean is incredible. In fact, the more I kept looking at him and watching what he's doing, the more I felt like he was in the kitchen when I was creating that dish. If you look at all the ingredients that I used, he came almost the closest. Even the technique that I used was actually very close to exactly what I did.
This other curveball of the appetizer, what was going through your mind? You threw me for a loop, by the way.
Well, remember, we're fighting for 1 million shillings, or they are for that matter. So I'm trying to see how far they can push it and how badly they want it.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure that I go through when I'm working in the hotel is so immense. And I was just trying to see whether they can push it to the next level.
Absolutely.
And I think we got
yeah,
it.
I think so too. Right, Gervais.
Now, Gervais, I would like to mention something about Gervais. You know, he is from Mauritius, and he has impressed me with all the, you know, ingredients that he's been using. He's impressed me with all the techniques that he's been using. And his, you know, presentations have become a lot better than from when we met him and, you know, when we started off with him at the auditions.
Right.
But, you know, we need to remember that Gervais is he's probably been more exposed to a lot of ingredients.
For me, actually, his dish did not impress. I was expecting something quite huge, especially from last week. And I will say I was a bit underwhelmed.
In terms of recreating my, masterpiece, Jove used the thigh. Now, unfortunately, I did not use the thigh. Now, the way he did the thigh actually worked because his spinach actually remained in the center. He used the technique of trussing. That's why he used the thread. So, to some extent, that could actually work as well.
All right, I don't know what was going on in this kitchen. Bread all over the place because of course, Jean had his bruschetta version. And the cucumber sandwich, out of nowhere, completely removed from the dish.
Please explain to me what happened to our brain when we get into that kitchen. It doesn't work. When you talk about a starter, for example, there are so many and so easy to make, so simple, but it doesn't come through.
Somebody must have seen one of them take the bread and they thought, this could be the easiest thing to do. But when you think about the starter that Gervais made for us, it didn't really stand out as a starter for me. It stood out like something that I would wake up at, in the middle of the night, say at midnight, to go and make for myself.
I agree. And I wish, I love the cucumber because, of course, of its coolness. I wish she had done something with a cucumber salad, kachumbari, something.
Probably.
All right. Magico.
Now, I would really like to commend this lady. Amina has come quite far. If you consider how little she knows about the culinary industry, and she's not exposed to as much stuff as maybe the rest would be.
True.
So I would really like to say that Amina has come from a place where I never thought I would see her as the final four. Amina, on the other hand, though, lost the mark when it comes to the recreation because she's the other contestant that used the thigh instead of the breast.
And she struggled with it. Did you see that?
Yes. But it was lovely. I actually tasted it and it tasted quite good.
I loved her dish, actually. I mean, if it was a different challenge or it wasn't about comparison and taste, I think she would have definitely done great. Her dish was great, but compared to yours, really there was no comparison. It was north and south.
And that's the point. But there's one thing I'd like to bring up about Amina. She's the only one in her starter who did not use bread.
Thank God.
She's very bold.
Yeah.
Using pancake in 15 minutes and making what she made, considering the fact that the background that she's coming from is really not from a culinary point of view, that's actually something very commendable. So
I absolutely agree, yes. And you know what, for me, I love her journey because you see someone grow and you see someone actually start to believe in themselves to that level. And I think this represents the entire show. Right, the one who came back, Angie.
Angie, wow. I think out of the four, she's the second person that came very close to the recreation. First of all, she used the breast. She's the only one who used the ricotta cheese in the filling. And she's the only one who used the spinach. There was something that I could make out in the final dish when I tasted it. There was obviously a miss somewhere. But if you think about it, Angie has impressed since she came back. I'm really wondering whether, sending her off the first time has actually brought back some new, life in her.
Absolutely. You know what I loved about this challenge with her is the fact that she actually would stop and go through your dish like almost microscopic to try and find that one thing. And I like that. I like that process, which means that she understood what the challenge was about. I'm not so sure also about her chicken. There was something in there, but I liked the crunchiness of the spinach.
True. There's another thing that I'd like to mention. In terms of the starters, she used ingredient that actually worked quite well with her main course. Basil is so
good.
And I love basil and tomatoes. Maybe she could have done better with her presentations, but the flavor was actually there. It was packed with a lot of flavor.
You know what? When I saw your dish, I actually did not believe that these guys could pull it off, but just even based on the time that you gave them. And then 2 dishes, I am super proud of these contestants.
At this point, I don't think there's a loser because they have all proven that they can stand the pressure, they can stand the heat, and they can actually make it to the end.
Right, there's this curveball of 2 people who have to go.
And somebody is going to end up being the 1 million shilling winner.
All right, let's see. Amina, Angie, Jean, and Gervais, I just want to tell you that this has been an amazing journey for me, and I hope the same for you. It definitely shows that there is super amazing talent out there in this country, and it's all about finding it.
I believe that you should all be proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
You have come a long journey. And at this juncture, everyone is a winner in my eyes. My dish. It was a coconut cream with rosemary ugali, spinach and ricotta stuffed chicken breast, and a creamy mushroom sauce. Jean, you're the only one who used the technique that I used to split the chicken to form that pocket. Angie, you used the same technique, but from the opposite side, which is still the same. Amina, Gervais, your chicken was beautiful.
Thank you.
I loved it. It was nice and moist, and I just liked the texture and the flavors in it. But that's because you used the thigh, which is probably the piece that most people enjoy the most. Gervais, you actually filled it and you trust it to make sure that the filling does not get out. So much as you used the wrong piece, that actually worked quite well, even for me. Although I feel like you lost the mark on the ugali. It was quite stiff. Mine was relatively creamy. And I also felt like the starter that you made for me, which I agree was a curveball, didn't really strike me as a starter. It was more like a snack. Amina, you used your chicken stock in the thigh, and that was really innovative. The thing that I actually liked even more was how after you cooked it, you managed to cut it, get the bone out, and you used your own unique technique that has gotten you this far to try and stuff that spinach.
Thank you.
So that was actually thumbs up. But Angie, how many times did you do your sauce?
Twice.
And this is not the first time you're working with cream. Neither is it the first time that it has gone south on you. Such small mistakes at this point can very easily cost you.
Angie, you came back. And that, I think, between Chef Ben and I, one of the best decisions we've made this season. It is a pleasure seeing you cook with such passion and with such delicacy. Jean, the adventure man in the kitchen. I think you have certainly grown and you've brought everything together. Gervais, the teacher from Mombasa who is so loved by his students. It has been such a pleasure having you here because of your love for food and the fact that every single week, regardless of what happens, you keep your cool and you always amaze.
I'm happy about this journey that we took up together, all of us from different parts of this country. And you have all represented your own regions in your own unique ways. And you are the 4 finalists of Season 2 Fuata Flava. But 2 dishes made it. Jean, Angie. You 2 make it the final of Fuata Flava. Jabe, thank you so much.
Yeah, you
Thank
have to
you.
accept it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much.
And you should be proud.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amina,
Bye.
I remember seeing your sons at the
Yeah.
audition. They must be so proud of you.
Definitely.
Kisumu must be so proud of you, and the rest of Kenya is so proud of you. Jove, you definitely made this season different and amazing, and we thank you so much for taking the risk and trying out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've come here for fun. I think I had great fun. I think I've been the one who's been cooking most. Yes, so, and I've been the one who's been commended most often, I think. So for me, you know, I'm happy with that.
If I was to say the truth, my biggest competition the first time I met Jave in Mombasa, I knew that this person was going to give me the run for my money.
I never thought like I'll beat Jove, because ever since he came, he was so experienced and he was so calm in the kitchen. So I don't know, it's really good that I did.
Watu 12 wenye wamesoma zaidi ya mimi wako na internet na nini, na bado nimewachanganya na mpaka nimefika semi-final. Nimeshukuru, nimefurahia, na pale nimefika, sitawachilia kupika na nitaendelea, nitajifunza sasa.
After a tough semi-final, it is now down to the last 2 contestants. Down to the final where the winner will emerge based on the final dish.
Knowing that this is actually going to be the end of all this, you've done your best, and this is just, you know, putting the ribbon on top, you know, just that once, that the stretch.
I'll bring my A game, and I know Joe is very committed. So just go head to head, see what happens.